The police knocked at midnight, but my son was sleeping upstairs. The knock came exactly at midnight. 3 slow, heavy knocks. Knock, knock, knock. Laura Bennett froze in the kitchen, the dish towel still in her hands. The clock on the microwave blinked 12 a.m., casting a dim green glow across the quiet house. Her heart began to beat faster. No one ever knocked this late. Upstairs, her 16-year-old son Ethan was supposed to be asleep. Laura had checked on him less than an hour ago. He was lying in bed with his headphones on, half asleep after a long day at school. Another knock echoed through the house. Knock, knock. Laura walked slowly to the door, her bare feet cold against the wooden floor. She peered through the peephole. 2 police officers stood outside. Her stomach dropped. 1,000 terrible thoughts rushed through her mind. Had something happened to Ethan? But that was impossible. He was upstairs. Still, her hands trembled as she opened the door. "Ma'am," the taller officer said gently, removing his hat. "Are you Laura Bennett?" "Yes," she replied, confused. "What's going on?" The 2 officers exchanged a quick look. "Ma'am, we're very sorry to come at this hour," the other officer said quietly, "but we need to talk to you about your son." Laura felt the world tilt beneath her feet. "My son?" she whispered. "Yes, Ethan Bennett." Her voice rose slightly. "What about him? He's upstairs, sleeping." The officers looked at each other again, this time with clear confusion. "Ma'am," the tall officer said slowly, "are you certain?" Laura frowned. "Of course I'm certain. I just checked on him." Silence hung between them for a moment. Then the officer swallowed. "Ma'am, about 30 minutes ago there was a car accident on Highway 27. Laura's chest tightened. "And?" she asked nervously. "The driver had Ethan's ID." Laura blinked. "That's impossible," she said quickly. "You must have the wrong person." She turned and pointed toward the staircase. "My son is upstairs right now." For a moment, no one spoke. Finally, the officer said quietly, "Would it be okay if we came inside?" Laura hesitated, then nodded. The officers stepped into the house. The living room felt suddenly colder. "Please," Laura said, gesturing toward the stairs. "You'll see, he's right there." The 3 of them walked slowly up the staircase. Laura's heart pounded harder with every step. Something felt wrong, but she couldn't explain why. At the top of the stairs, the hallway light flickered softly. Ethan's bedroom door was closed. Laura smiled nervously. "See?" she said. "Teenagers, always asleep." She pushed the door open. The room was quiet. The bed was empty. Laura's smile disappeared. "Ethan?" she called softly. No answer. Her eyes moved around the room. The bedsheets were messy. The window was slightly open. Her heart began to race. "That's strange," she whispered. The officers stood silently behind her. Laura rushed down the hall toward the bathroom. Empty. She checked the guest room. Empty. Her breathing became faster. "No, no, no, no," she muttered. She ran back downstairs. "Ethan!" she shouted. The house remained silent. Then she noticed something on the kitchen counter. A small folded note. Her hands shook as she picked it up. The handwriting was Ethan's. Her heart sank before she even read the words. The note said, "Mom, I'm sorry I lied tonight. I told you I was staying home, but Jake called and needed a ride. I didn't want you to worry. I'll be back before morning. Love you." Laura felt the room spin. "Oh my God," she whispered. Behind her, one of the officers spoke gently. "Ma'am, was Ethan driving tonight?" Laura shook her head slowly. He just got his license 2 months ago." Her voice broke. "He promised me he wouldn't drive late at night." The officer sighed quietly. We found the car wrapped around a guardrail. Laura covered her mouth. Was he... She couldn't finish the sentence. The officer looked down. We found 2 people in the vehicle. Laura's knees weakened. 2? Yes, the officer said. 1 passenger and the driver. Tears filled her eyes. And Ethan? She whispered. The officer hesitated. Then he said something unexpected. We're not completely sure. Laura looked up suddenly. What do you mean? The officer explained softly. The driver had Ethan's ID in his pocket, but the face was badly injured. We couldn't confirm identity yet. Laura's heart pounded. So, it might not be him? It's possible. Hope flickered for a moment. But then she remembered something else. Jake, she whispered. What? The officer asked. The note. Ethan said he went to help Jake. The officers exchanged another glance. Do you know Jake's full name? Jake Turner, she replied quickly. They've been best friends since middle school. One officer pulled out his phone and checked something. His expression slowly changed. That's strange. What? Laura asked desperately. He looked at her carefully. Ma'am, Jake Turner was the passenger in the accident. Laura felt the air leave her lungs. And the driver? The officer shook his head. We're still trying to confirm. The house fell silent again. Then Laura suddenly remembered something else. Wait. She rushed toward the hallway closet. Inside hung Ethan's black hoodie, but his car keys were missing. Tears streamed down her face. He took the car, she whispered. The officer gently placed a hand on her shoulder. Ma'am, we need you to come with us to the hospital. Laura nodded weakly. Her world felt like it was collapsing. As they walked toward the door, she looked back at the empty staircase. Hours earlier, she believed her son was safe upstairs, sleeping. Now she didn't know where he was, or if he was even alive. The drive to the hospital felt endless. Laura stared out the window, replaying the evening in her mind. Ethan laughing at dinner. Ethan saying goodnight. Ethan closing his bedroom door. Had she really checked on him, or had she just assumed he was there? The police car finally stopped outside the emergency room. Laura's hands trembled as she stepped out. Inside, doctors and nurses moved quickly through the halls. A nurse approached them. Are you Mrs. Bennett? Laura nodded. The nurse took a slow breath. We were able to identify the driver. Laura felt her heart stop. And? She whispered. The nurse spoke softly. It wasn't Ethan. Laura burst into tears of relief. Then where is he? She asked desperately. The nurse looked uncertain. We don't know. Just then the hospital entrance doors slid open. A teenage boy rushed inside, breathless. Mom! Laura turned. Ethan! She ran to him and pulled him into a tight hug. You're alive, she cried. Ethan looked confused. Of course I am. What happened? She asked, holding his face. Ethan explained between breaths. Jake was drunk. He tried to drive my car. Laura's eyes widened. I told him no, Ethan continued. We argued. I got out of the car and started walking home. Jake drove away angry. Tears ran down Ethan's face. I didn't know he'd crash. Laura hugged him even tighter. You're safe, she whispered. But across the hallway, another doctor quietly covered another body with a white sheet. Sometimes the scariest moment in a parent's life isn't losing their child. It's the moment they believe they already have.